Hi everyone, my name is Patrick Lee Greaves. I just thought, well, I've had a few questions from people asking me to do a very sort of basic kind of snowy scene. So I thought I'd just demonstrate that today. I know I did a live broadcast, very short live broadcast a week or so ago, but I've had a dreadful cold since then and not actually been up to doing much. So as soon as the cold gets better, I'll do this sort of thing over a live broadcast. But we'll just jump straight into it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to paint a very simple snow scene. There's going to be not much, it's just going to be like a mountain in the background. But we're going to see how quickly we can just use sort of expressive brushwork to get the scene down without fiddling too much. So we can start off with like a mountain, sort of typical sort of scene, I suppose. Mountain in the background, and then up here we'll have some trees. Typical. What we want to do is we want to paint it with lots of. I always find when you paint sort of snow scenes and stuff like that, if you paint with a lot of dry brush, it gives you get that feeling of snow being left behind. So. Just have some more trees here. What we'll do, a few in the distance. Up here. Okay. We have some bits of stuff, twigs sticking up in the snow here and here. Again, you can see it's almost a verging on doing a scribble. I'm just trying to get the outline really, and I'm just going to put a couple of little, to give it some idea of scale and interest. I'm just going to put a couple of little figures here, and they're going to be walking away into the painting. They can be going off down that way. Right, so what we'll do, first of all we want to get we'll leave the white paper behind. Okay, we don't want to be touching the white paper. So we're going to go straight with the, I'm going to use some burnt umber and some cobalt blue. And I'm just going to paint where the snow's kind of moved off the mountain, it's fallen off or melted away, whatever you want to call it. Just pop a little bit of ultramarine in there, just to darken it slightly. And we just want it in patches, like the rocks show through on the mountainside in patches. So a bit more, you don't run out of paint halfway through. And I'm just going to like over the tooth of the paper, I'm just hitting I'm not painting it with the points, I'm just using the side of the brush. A bit warmer in places, a bit darker in others. And then go back with some clean water and just soften it in places so you've not got all hard edges. Just like that. Then I'm going to go straight in with some sky colour, and for that I'm going to use a little bit of ultramarine and a little bit, I don't know what I'm going to use, maybe a little bit of light red, probably the wrong colour, not too much, just to dull the blue down. We don't want that electric. Maybe just a little bit of yellow ochre as well in the sky to make it a bit greyer. And we're just going to put that so we've got a nice stormy looking sky. Looks like it's going to snow again. There we go. We just leave our mountain tops in the distance. Now, what I do now is just in places here I want to soften this Get a better brush for that. In places I just want to soften where the edge of the mountain's hitting the sky, just so it runs into the, because we don't want all hard edges. I don't want too much though. So I'm just going to lift a little bit of that colour out again. Go back in with a thirsty brush and lift some colour out. Then I'm going to mix a little bit of cobalt blue, a little bit more of the red into the cobalt blue, just to grey it out slightly so it's not so blue. And I'm just going to put this half of the mountain in some shadow. Maybe just let that one touch there. Just like that. And all of a sudden you're starting to build up the shape a little bit. And if you get those nice sweeping curves on the snow where the snow's building up, I don't live in a snowy country so I don't see this, but a lot of you that are watching this probably do. So right, now that looks a bit naff, doesn't it really? Nothing's really happening. So we've got to put some trees in the foreground. So for that I'm just going to use some ultramarine, excuse me, and a little bit of yellow. I think I'm cadmium yellow or lemon yellow. I know you should probably use the right one, but so now I want to make a sort of variety of greens. So to dull it down a little bit, a bit more red, and that greys out slightly by putting the red and the blue and the green together, you get more of a grey green. And I'll start painting the trees. I really want to get that nice broken, so it looks like bits of snow are left on the branches. A bit of a mess of that there. Never mind. A bit more darks on that side. And we'll just do the same here. And I'm not really, because all the trees will be just like merging, merging together. As long as you've got the peaks. Sometimes when you've got a piece of paper, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but you're looking for that rough bit on the paper and you can't find it. Your brush doesn't want to catch the paper. Other times it will catch beautifully, and then sometimes, like today, it doesn't seem to want to. There, see, that's my fault. Too much paint and water on the brush, probably, on my behalf. So a little bit more yellow, just to put some darks into this. So now I'm just going back with a darker mix, what we had before, and just sort of trying to build up some darker colours to get some texture into the trees, as if they're all stacked, you know, they're sort of like kind of stacked up together. That's all we've got to do really. And we'll come back to that in a minute and do a little bit more to those. Move over to these now. That's a nice dry brush there. That's what I was looking for before, a bit more over here, but I couldn't get it. See, I've kind of messed that one up there. Let's bring it back into that one. Yeah, that's better. just kind of build up the layers. There we go. I haven't got any white paint, so I could have done some splash. I'll see if I can find some. So it could actually be snowing. And again, see, I can see this area here needs a bit of detail, because when that dries it's going to look quite flat. So we'll really make a nice dark, lots of blue, lots of yellow, lots of green, lots of blue, lots of yellow, lots of red, sorry. There we go, a bit more red. And we'll try and get a bit of, yeah, that's better. And it just makes it look like we've got layers of trees through the forest there. We might just one big one in the foreground there. Okay, let's wait for that to dry and then we'll come back and pop people in and put a bit of blue over it just to give it just to give the snow some contours and a bit of shadow under the trees. Then we should be done. Okay then, so now we're just going to drop some people in. So I'm just going to mix up a bit of red and a bit of yellow for their clothes. And a darkish colour for his head, or her head. And we can mix this. Let me just get my... So we just want them walking away down there. And this will kind of help give the whole thing some kind of scale, really. So if you can get used to putting a couple of figures in your picture, in your painting, then it really does put a bit of blue in that one. But don't be too sort of, as you can see, I'm just kind of like really roughly putting them in, just little hikers walking through. But again, it gives you the kind of the trees a size, and it gives everything a place, and makes more sense of the picture. Now, we'll get a bit more cobalt blue. Just a grey blue I use. And we could have some little footprints that they've created through the snow. Go back and soften. Where they've pushed their way through the snow. And now we've just got to put a little bit of we've got the sun coming that direction. So we just put a little bit of shadow on the side of the snow to give it let's put a little bit more in there. Remember to always clean your brush up when you're doing this, because you don't want to make it look dirty. There we go. Now if I had some white paint, but I haven't, unfortunately, not proper opaque white, I could splatter a bit of white on there, and that would give that a really nice nice finish to the painting. So yeah, there we go. So anyway, that gives you like a quick introduction to how to paint a very, very quick snowy scene. But it's a good way. What I use this sort of exercise for is warming up and practicing. It's a great way of practicing your brush strokes, getting your hands moving, your arms moving, and just getting you thinking about painting. It's a good exercise in just loosening up, and you know, looks reasonable. Take the tape off around the edge. Kind of finishes it off a bit better if it's got a mount on it. Just one other thing before I go. I've got a course on Udemy now. It's a watercolour painting course. Now, what I'd like to offer you guys an offer here. If you wanted to view the course, you can for nothing, free. I'm not asking for any money. So you can pick up a coupon on my Facebook site. So there will be a link under the video that you can go to my Facebook site, get the coupon, and then go to Udemy and enter the coupon and do the course. All I'd ask is, if return for the fact that it's free, I obviously spent a long time making it, that you rate and review it, you know, whatever you think about the course, basically. I'd really appreciate that, because it actually helps me get better in their search engines if it's being rated and reviewed, apparently. So yeah, so just pop along to follow the link under the video to my Facebook, and then pick up the coupon code, and then you can go and paste it into Udemy, and it's a lifetime access. You know, you could do the course in your own time. So thanks very much for watching my video today, and I hope I see you in the course, because I can see who's doing it and who's not, and how much you do of it and whatnot. So it'd be nice to see you there. So bye for now.